Okay, I've just finished reading MOE's release timeline regarding the Sengkang Green Primary School bullying case, and I am still processing it. I've read it like 3 times and I'm still processing it. I mean, we have now so much more context, so let's get into it. Okay, just for a bit of quick recap, Sengkang Green Primary School issued a statement that probably the victim has conducted some hurtful behaviours herself that might have caused to this whole bullying case to escalate. And the victim's parents asked for evidence, and she will accept all consequences of MOE's decision if evidence can be proven. And now MOE has released the timeline, and we will just go through this as briefly as we can, okay? The 3 students that were bullying the victim, we shall just name them students A, B, and C, and the victim shall be renamed as victim. Okay, so it started at end April 2025 when the victim reported student A for using an offensive slur against her and another classmate. But it was also reported that the victim also used an offensive slur against student A. So the form teacher facilitated and made them, mutually apologize to each other, and probably, to make them go forward together as friends, as classmates. Now, in mid-July, the victim started requesting a seat change due to discomfort. However, the form teacher noted that the victim was also sometimes interacting positively, like friendship between the victim and students A and B, so the form teacher decided to monitor the situation, because friendships can be grown, can be manned. Now, on July 25th, the victim asked again for a seat change request, citing distractions from student A and B and also their use of inappropriate language. And the victim also reported that student C touched the victim's face without consent. However, the victim also admitted to using inappropriate language against student A and B. So the form teacher now once again guided them, make them apologize to each other mutually, so that they can move forward together as a class and as friends, as classmates. The form teacher also on that day informed the victim's parents of the plan of seat change for the next Monday and also will investigate student C's action of supposedly allegedly touching the victim's face. Now on July 26th, this was when the victim and the mother started receiving harassment calls and also that unalive threat voice clip which most of us have heard. So on July 28th, the school investigated students A, B, and C and noted that student A found the victim's mother number from his parent and the one that sent the unalive threat was student C. All 3 students A, B, and C have been reprimanded and suspended immediately and their parents informed. And apparently, the VP, the vice principal, also met the victim's parents, confirmed seat change and planned back checks post-suspension and also discussed peer support plan. This is probably the so-called safety plan that was also in question. And this safety plan was supposedly emailed to parents of the victim on July 31st, according to MOE's timeline. The school also assured further disciplinary actions like caning pending police investigations of the unalive threat. So on July 30th, the victim reported a classmate sprayed water on her. Take note, this classmate is not students A, B, or C. This is a different classmate. And investigations revealed that the victim actually used a racial slur and hurtful words prompting the classmate's retaliation. Both students were counselled and the classmate's parent was informed with plans to update the victim's parents in person. And now on August 7, the school was informed of a bruise on the victim that was supposedly caused by student C. Student C allegedly swung his back during a dismissal and CCTV footage showed that the teacher was managing other students and did not notice the incident, and also no students reported it. The school has engaged with student C's parents and student C was caned on August 12. So disciplinary action was taken. So now on August 14, finally near the end of the timeline, the school has scheduled meetings with the victim's parents on August 18 to discuss actions and support for the student's return. And then we finally have August 15 to 16 where the victim's parents posted allegations on social media, which we all now have known. Okay, now that we have MOE's timeline, I think most of us can agree that the victim did engage in hurtful behaviors that might have escalated the whole bullying incident. So MOE now has had a 4 hours meeting with the victim's mother, and they have agreed that the victim will return to school and there will be no request for school transfer. I hope we can give the victim and the mother the space they need, and let's stop pointing fingers saying such and such forth, because ultimately in the end, what the victim needs to learn is she was also wrong for hurtful behavior. The bullies were also wrong, students A, B, and C, but all of them had their mistakes. We're not going to delve deeper into whose mistakes was even more severe. Obviously, the unalive threat is the most serious one, and that is still pending police investigations on how it will be handled. But for now, let's give them the space they need, and the victim should also learn that she was at fault partially.